guys, it's Bri. Tonight we're here to talk about this mom on TikTok who allowed her child to play with medical supplies in a doctor's office because the appointments aren't cheap. I had a few thoughts about this, and I also want to go over this other lady on TikTok who came out with what she thinks is princess treatment, and it's giving just you're being a rude jerk. So we're going to go over both of those. If you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, I adjusted my ring light just a little bit, so if it looks a little different, that is why. But this TikTok user, her username is Adine Nicole, and she posted this about a week ago, and she said, letting my daughter play with supplies because these doctor's appointments ain't cheap. I guess she thought that in the comments a bunch of other parents were going to be like, oh yeah, we totally do that too. Haha, this is so funny and relatable. Everybody in the comments was calling her out for how wasteful, entitled, and arrogant this is to think that medical supplies are your child's plaything because you're paying a service provider that is the doctor. You think it's too expensive, so you're going to allow your child to basically ruin their supplies that should be used on other patients. I think most of us know that medical supplies are not cheap, and on top of them not being cheap, they are meant to be sterile. So all of these supplies that you're allowing her to use as playthings are literally trash. They cannot be used. And it was to keep her entertained for a few minutes, because God forbid a child has to wait for the doctor to take care of other sick kids before they come into your exam room. How just immature, and what a bad thing to show your child as what's acceptable to do in public spaces. Now, if you buy things and you pay for them and you think that those can be wasted by your children, please, that comes out of your own pocket. It's your choice. But businesses paying for supplies to help treat sick patients are not props to play with. We're not playing house. We're not playing, nurse and doctor office here. There are literal people who could have used these supplies, but you're allowing her to play with them as a way to entertain her. Why don't you, instead of allowing her to play with medical supplies and ruin them, teach her that there are places and times where we need to be quiet and wait. Maybe bring a book, bring the old iPad, bring something if she needs entertainment, instead of utilizing things that a business paid for because you're too lazy to parent. And there are a lot of people in the medical field just echoing exactly how I feel about it. Don't do this. It's not cute. It's not relatable at all. Bring her toys, bring her a coloring book, teach her common respect for other people's stuff. I don't like it. And of course, she responded with video eating a burrito when somebody called her out for being a young, but more importantly, very immature mother. Secondly, let's talk about this other influencer who wanted to come out and explain what princess treatment was according to her. Courtney, who came out with this video, her account is currently privatized because she has received so much backlash for this incredibly problematic video that she put out. And of course, I do have it saved, so I will be dropping it in this video so y'all can hear exactly what she had to say. But it essentially was her saying that she goes out to dinner with her husband. She does not acknowledge the valet. She does not acknowledge the host stand. She does not acknowledge the wait staff. She does not acknowledge anybody who is working in or around the establishment. She calls it princess treatment and allowing kind of her husband to be in control. But all that this is number one, inaccurately describing what princess treatment is. And number two, you're exposing yourself as just being rude. I learned from a very young age, and of course I have talked about this before, so I won't be super long-winded here, but from a very young age, I was taught that you respect people no matter what. If it's the janitor, if it's, somebody higher up, if it's somebody cleaning your car, if it's somebody, performing a service for you, no matter what it is, you acknowledge them and you treat them with respect, and you do not talk to them as if they are beneath you or ignore them because you have some kind of mentality that you are above them.
Let's talk about princess treatment if you're at a restaurant and how you interact with the waitstaff and the hostess. If I am at a restaurant with my husband, I do not talk to the hostess, I do not open any doors, and I do not order my own food. So if someone had sent me a message a couple weeks ago asking about, like, let's say your husband drops you off and he goes to park the car, what do you do? Or if it's raining or something like that and he wants you to put your name down. And I had a very similar situation happen to me with my husband a couple weeks ago. I'll put her question on the screen so you can see exactly what she's saying. But me and my husband pulled up to a restaurant and he wanted to run in and see. We didn't have a reservation. He wanted to run in. Well, we didn't have a reservation, so we wanted to go up and see if it was possible for us to get in. He pulled the car up at the valet station. I stayed in the car. He got out of the car, told the valet, I'm just going to run in and ask a question. I'm going to leave my car here. I sat in the car while he ran in and asked them. They said, yeah, we have space for you. And my husband said, okay, I'm going to go get my wife, and then I'm going to park the car. So he comes back out, opens my car door, walks me into the restaurant, opens the door, and I stand and wait. I did not make eye contact with the hostess. I did not talk to her. I waited until my husband came back. He comes back, does the exchange with her, and then we went and sat down. Let's say it's raining. You already have a reservation, okay? Your husband's gonna pull you up to the restaurant. He's gonna get out, open your door. He's gonna walk you to the restaurant door, open the door, and walk you in. He's probably then gonna leave to go park the car. Or he's gonna go exchange whatever he needs to do with the valet. You're just gonna stand in the lobby or whatever the space is, and you're gonna wait for your husband to come back. You're not gonna go up to the hostess and give the reservation name. You're not gonna talk to her. This isn't out of like I'm better than them and I don't need to talk to them and I don't need to, I'm not like it's not in any sense like you're better than the hostess. You're just letting your husband lead and be masculine. He made the reservation. He's taking you out. Let him do the logistics. You're just being a princess. It's not because you're being hoity-toity. You're just letting your husband lead and letting him take care of it. So if I don't even know another situation where you would need to be dropped off, usually there's a valet so you can both get out together. But again, like, you don't need to feel awkward about it. Another huge part of the princess treatment is, I don't know if we specifically talked about this, but the over need to like talk and fill space. Like, you don't need to talk unless you are spoken to. And then if you are spoken to and ask, you can say, oh, I'm just waiting for my husband, and then he'll be able to give the reservation. Or you can say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm not sure. My husband will be back, and then you can ask him. You can say it in a very soft and feminine way. I know this is going to be ripped apart. People just take things seriously such the wrong way, but that's how I would handle it. And then let's just go further into, so if you're sitting down, you're ordering. In New York, for the most part, the waiter would come up, they would ask, whatever, my husband would start to speak, and then the waiter would address them, and the waiter would get the hint, and only then interact with my husband. Here in Salt Lake, they don't quite get it. I think they think that I'm like being, oppressed, or I don't know. They'll be like, what can I get you to eat? And I will just look at my husband. Like, if they address me first, I will just look at my husband and let my husband order. He'll say, oh, she's da 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 da. And then if they have a follow-up question, like, oh, do you want it like this? Sometimes I will answer. Let's say I think maybe my husband doesn't know what I would want. I will then address the waiter. But it's almost like they keep trying to like get me to speak. And I'm like, no, I want him to order for me. I like when he orders for me. It's not that I'm not capable of ordering for myself. It's just fun. It's just a fun princess treatment thing. It makes me feel special. It makes me just feel like over the top taken care of. So if the waiter addresses you first, I will simply just look at my husband, and then my husband will order. Again, you don't need to over exert yourself. You can be feminine and soft and quiet. The most elegant, lovely women are often soft-spoken and don't overspeak. They're not loud. Maybe let's also talk about that. You're not going to be laughing loudly, speaking loudly, demanding the attention of the room when you're at a restaurant. You're with your husband, your boyfriend, whoever, fiance. You're speaking to him, eye contact with him. The attention is kind of on him. You're not laughing so loudly that everyone in the room is looking at you, or speaking so loudly that everyone in the room is looking towards you. You take the napkin, put it in your lap immediately. You're not waiting. You're not, oh, sorry. You know what I mean? Oh, another thing, at the coat check, let's say it is raining, you have a coat on. Don't go up and wait and ask for the coat check. Wait for your husband. Let's say your husband's dropped you off early. Wait for your husband to come back, and then he can take your coat off and give it to the coat check. So anything really, you're just waiting for your husband to do it. And again, it's not because you can't. It's not because you're not able to. And it's not because you're better than anybody. It's just the fun part of being that princess, of being that feminine wife, and letting your husband take care of you. You're already having to do so much. Your brain is constantly already on as a housewife, stay-at-home mom. You're running and managing so much. In those fun little moments, it's really just so lovely to let your husband do that for you. Anyways, again, long-winded. Hopefully helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, as always.
I think that Courtney is just simply rude and is trying to put it off on being a trad wife and allowing my husband to drive and be in control of things. There is a way to allow your spouse to have some control and do things that are meaningful. But by you ignoring the host, the valet, the wait staff, anyone who is working in the restaurant, that's not making you any better. And from what I know, and of course I'm no Disney adult here, but my idea of a princess is somebody who respects others. Yes, they might be a princess, but they treat others with kindness and compassion. This woman, I think, is extremely uninteresting. I find her content that she posted before she went private to be very boring, very lackluster, zero personality. And now, obviously, she's put out this video and received a lot of backlash for it. And you just exposed yourself as being rude. We are not rude to retail workers, restaurant workers, people anywhere. Like, why are you doing this and acting as if it's something that you're obeying your husband? Please, I cannot with the obeying your husband, cringe to the max. But anyway, of course, like I said, I will put her video in here. I needed a little break from Gypsy Rose, the Resilient Jenkins, other family vloggers. So this is that little break, but we'll be back with other content. But for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.